Welcome back to episode 7, Bloodlines and Bottom Turns. It's been a little while, Robert.
It has, although we've just put out over the last couple of weeks something decent with the young Will Webber.
Yeah, and that was due to the delay, guys. We actually decided to outsource our editing because for me, work has been getting a little bit out of control lately, and we thought we'd trial a gentleman online to do our editing for us. And look, I'm happy to a degree with the job, but we have had some feedback, and guys, we do appreciate all feedback we do get. If you are new to the channel, guys, I'm Josh, and this is Rob Dog, my dad, ex-professional surfer, ex-junior professional surfer, and we're here to share stories about tours past and also about hopefully interviewing core Lord surf figures that we know within the industry. Like Dad said, we just released a really cool episode that's really been well received by our community so far with the incredibly funny Will Webber
and Pickles
and Captain Pickles. So guys, if you haven't, that is our previous episode 6. Check that out on our profile. But today we are going to be chatting about a few things. We are a little bit late to the party, but our boy Connor O'Leary finally got his breakthrough win on the WCT.
He's a humble man, I'll tell you. I remember meeting him with you when, you're about 17, 18, and he's such a good young man and father now, which is incredible. That changes his life. Let me tell you, he's now realised that he's now just doing a job to supply for his family.
Yeah, 100%. And
the best job on earth, but I mean, still a job.
It's one job all of us surfers would love to have, isn't it?
It is.
But Connor, if you ever listen to this, mate, we want to get you on the potty. I was going to reach out to you this morning, but I know you're on your way over to Tahiti as we speak. But we're going to spend the first few minutes of this podcast praising Connor for his efforts over in J-Bay, because he is now one of only 3 goofy footers to have ever won the J-Bay professional comp. The other 2 being Oki, obviously, and then Gabriel Medina. And so we're going to touch on that. But right now, I want to also say, I don't know, Connor, if you saw this, but I was down at the surf club watching the quarters and the finals. And when he was in the heat against Ethan, I was up at the bar getting a beer. Didn't see his buzzer beater. And last I saw, Ethan had him.
Yeah.
So I messaged him going, mate, super close heat. You surf so good. Bummer about that. And then next thing you know, it comes up on the replay that he won it.
Well, I'm pretty sure you came home and he's going, that was so close with Connor. I said, he won.
No, because I ended up watching the final down there.
Yeah, but I mean, with that heat, I'm pretty sure you thought he'd lost.
Oh, I text you.
You text me and go, no, he won that heat.
I text you going, fuck, Connor was close. So I quickly unsent that message. I'm sort of selling myself out here. And then I said, good job, mate. Keep it up. I did actually win a bit of money that night on the finals. So once Connor got through that quarter, I actually won about $250 on the semis, picking all the semis for the men's and both semis for the women. So, mate, happy days for you. Congratulations.
And you know what? Going with your heart paid off this time.
Well, this is the thing. I always say this to everyone when we do these episodes, that I put Connor in my team every single event. And it is purely off the fact that out of all the surfers that I've competed against in my career who are now on tour or have been on tour, Connor has, like you said, always been the most humble, down-to-earth out of all of them. He has the time of day for every person that he comes across. And to me, he has got one of the best backhands on tour.
Listen, there's you look at Oki and there's power, okay? But you look at Connor and Connor goes more vertical on his backhand than any of the other surfers, particularly on a point break, right-hand point break. He just puts it up under the lip and he gives it some. You got to remember, he's 6'3".
He's a big boy. Like when we were competing against each other, he wasn't as big as me. He was nearly as tall as me.
He was skinnier though.
But he was a lot skinnier. Easy now. I feel like all the boys are a lot skinnier than me. I was always a bit big, but just to see the growth there. And like one thing I do really find so incredible about Connor's backhand is when you watch him go to the top, the amount of board that he places above the lip in such the tight pocket of the wave is honestly second to none. I don't know another person on tour on their backhand, regular footer or goofy footer, that gets as vertical in the most critical section as Connor does. And it's finally paid off for him. So, mate,
The tightest with the most amount of power.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay, when I say that, he gives it some. And you've got to remember, guys can throw spray that place the board in the right place, but he throws buckets of spray, not fine whispers of spray. he gives it some.
Yeah. And I did a little reel that actually got a little bit of traction. It was one of those, a little bit of midriff. One of those one of those memes that you see on social media. It's like when you call her something instead of perfect, and I actually put Connor's 10 up there because Connor obviously got that 10 in the semi. And so yeah, you call her Connor O'Leary at J-Bay instead of perfect, and they actually got a bit of traction. There was a bit of love there from the community. So it's not just us thinking it, mate. Well done.
And let me tell you, Connor, impressed to get a 10. I think I had one in my whole 10, 12-year career, and that was a perfect Kira where I had other crew getting 2 10s. And 10s were given out a lot easier back then. 10s aren't easy to get now.
Well, this is the thing, and call this a little conspiracy if you want, but I find ever since they've done like the Yeti score a 10, get a Tundra deal, they've been a little bit stingy on their 10s lately.
Well, I reckon Yeti's not going to give them too many.
They've
probably got a quota.
We can't give away too many, boys. Head judge, be mindful of how many 10s you give. We've got X amount we can give away this event, but you know what? Like, well deserved. When you look at the 3 goofy footers that have gone and won J-Bay, again being Occy, Gabby, and now Connor, the difference in their surfing compared to other goofy footers is very evident. Like you said, Occy is just raw power. I did see a lot of his approach from when he won it to how Connor was approaching his heat strategies. I don't know whether Connor had that in the back of his mind, whether the dog told Connor how to approach it that way, or whether he just let Connor go nuts from his zone.
So there was one wave in particular, it might have even been the 10, where Connor just backed off and sat there and wait for the right time from the high line to drop into his bottom turn and just go upside down. And, unfortunately, as surfers, we all get a little bit patient. We want to just keep going bang, bang, bang. But waves like J-Bay and just generally point breaks, you can't do that. You've got to look down the line and go, it's time for me to be patient, high line, and get that bottom turn right so we can go straight up underneath the lip.
Yeah, because when you're surfing a point break, it's structured. It's not like surfing a beachy where it's temperamental. So in regards to wanting to just throw the kitchen sink at it, it could put yourself behind a section which you're then stuck behind, which adds the downtime on your wave, which then lessens your score. When you, again, think about even the most basic criteria that is like worldwide used, which is speed, power, and flow, on a point break, it is crucial. Because if you use speed, power, and flow on a point break, that is where you can link up a perfect wave and get a 10 like what Connor did.
100%. Just going to touch on one other thing. Proud dad that you are, Connor, and I'm so stoked for you being a dad. And I believe your best results are about to come. I know that when your mother and I had you, that's when my best results came, because it wasn't just about me having a good time competing and traveling and getting paid to surf anymore. I had to provide, particularly when your mum turned around and gone, you can't just spend all the money anymore. You've got to make some money because you got to provide for a family.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's actually good pressure. It's not pressure coming from anywhere else except within, because when you get married, you become one. And then you've got a child, that's one unit. And it's pressure. You're good at what you do. That is what you do. You've got to do your best at it. And you don't want to go become a carpenter or something.
No, absolutely not. I feel like, it's been many years since I've actually seen Connor, and we've seen each other in passing, or we've spoken to each other in passing, but he was never one, even when we were doing the juniors, he was never one that was big in the party scene. Like him and Shane Campbell, like those boys when they were traveling together, they were clear-cut pros from a young age. And
they didn't think they were rock stars.
No. Whereas a lot of us did, unfortunately.
A lot of us,
like myself included, and I've been very humbled since. But it's interesting, and we're going to move on to the fact that the boys are going, or the tour is going to Tahiti next. But I want to touch on something because I was speaking with old boy Johnny.
Boy Johnny.
Hayden Wool the other day. They did a reel regarding surfing influencers, and these. I think we were talking about this briefly yesterday. And about these young guys that are sponsored and they're taking photos in the car park, and then they're saying who's coming to the pub tonight. And it's going on what you just said then, like they didn't think they were rock stars. It's like a lot of these young guys, and when I got the background of, where they got this from, a lot of these young guys that are sponsored, that are getting these opportunities, that are getting some good results, are doing exactly what I did and a lot of other people I know from my era did, which is they go start partying thinking that they're rock stars.
And they're still in kindergarten.
Yeah, they still haven't learnt everything they need to learn
They're
yet.
still in kindergarten. The way I look at competitive surfing is when you hit the QS, you are in kindergarten, pro junior QS. It's kindergarten, beginning of preschool. You hit the Challenger Series. Oh, I suppose QS is more like high school. I look at the Challenger Series university or college,
Yep,
and I look at the CT as a real job.
literally.
That is a real job. How many people do you know that go to uni and they go out partying and they either never finish uni or they never get a job in that field?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. And so this is the thing. It's like, take Connor as a prime example. Take Connor as a prime example. Take Jack Robert. Like this is a massively for like a lot of us young Aussie kids. Like I don't know much about the American up and coming Groms and juniors, but like all the Aussie boys out here and ones that I've met before, keep in mind, like it's a very slippery slope to go from getting money and product from a sponsor and support. And all it takes is one bad post or one bad decision for you to go out and you lose it all. And I know you for a fact, Dad, you've shared many stories from pros in your days, guys that have won bells, guys that have won big comps, that they ended up, like you said, it faded away. It all fell apart for them in the long run.
Yeah, it all fell apart from in the long run because they did think they were rock stars. I was a lower level that actually just appreciated the fact I was getting paid to go surfing, and I was a wannabe. I'll put that straight out there. I was a wannabe, but I was going to do everything within my will to try and make it work.
Yeah.
So you know what? I didn't have the fanciest career. One of a couple of QSs, beat Sonny in a QS final, but for me, it was like all I want to do is go. I can proudly say I got paid to surf.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other guys that got a lot of money ended up with nothing because, again, the word keeps coming out. They thought they were rock stars.
Yeah. So food for thought for, anyone sponsored trying to go through kindergarten of the professional surfing career is like, do you want it or do you just want the image of it?
Listen, I do have to touch on one thing. While I was doing it, there was an era that they went with, even the sponsors went through where they liked the bad boy image. Okay, but they realized in the end that the bad boy image wasn't for everyone, and the bad boy image didn't cut it with corporate sponsors.
Well, would you say that like MCD is a prime example of a company that built their team around that hardcore bad boy image, and then MCD is now no more? Now, I would love to see a resurgence of MCD.
It was really cool stuff.
It was awesome stuff. I know I was a bit young for it, but looking back, I appreciate it. But again, surfing has changed, and I guess it comes back to what is it that you want to achieve from the sport? Do you want to make this a living and a career, or do you just want to ride the wave while you got it, and then when it goes flat, you just deal with it and go get a real job?
Or do you want it to be a real short window?
Well, mine was.
It's a real short window. Again, I went through that stage when they liked the bad boy, and I wasn't going to go and get tats and put earrings in and everything else. And so I suffered a little bit because of that. And then at the end, I ended up sponsored by MCD for about 3 years, and I didn't fit their image either. So that's why I used to have to put about 5 or 6 different money sponsors together to actually, so I could go and compete wherever it was around the world, so then I could win money to make a living.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, interesting that that's all come about, because I do look at the way professional surfing is now, and there is a massive, massive gap between the guys that I've competed with on the QS and the guys you see. Some guys you see on the Challenger Series. I feel like you said, like that analogy of like the preschool, the primary school, high school, then college, and then job. That's a good analogy for how you should be viewing Grom comps, pro juniors, QS,
Correct.
Challenger, etc. Moving on. The boys are getting ready to go to Tahiti.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Connor do a post, and this is why I haven't hit him up to do an interview. It's his he was down at Lennox Beach with his bub, and he's like
about to leave the family.
He's like about to leave the fam to go to Tahiti.
That's hard.
Let's talk about this, because they're going from one of the most perfect right-hand point breaks in the world to now one of the most insanely heavy left-hand slabs in the world. Chopu literally in French Polynesian, I believe, means reef of broken skulls. I remember
Correct.
hearing that many
Yes.
years ago.
Yep.
The years that I went over and competed in Tahiti, never got a chance to surf it. But just the reef itself, even for anyone haven't been to Tahiti, the reef itself is alive. It is sharp and is very unforgiving when you hit it. I've hit it plenty of times. And so I can only imagine the mindset change that the competitors would have to make to go from, being able to take their time setting up turns to then trying to figure out where they're going to sit on the reef and whether they're too deep or not for a big set.
Well, we've watched Felipe there year after year, haven't we? And he second guesses himself a lot, so he doesn't take some monsters. He's into self-preservation. I understand that. What's really cool, we took back to Connor. Didn't Connor make the semis there last year?
You're pushing them. You got to remember, I lived on a farm last year,
true.
mate. I didn't really pay much attention.
It was either semis or quarters, so he's had a good result there. Okay, he's going to be on a high. It is hard to maintain coming out of a high after winning an event, but occasionally you can go on that roll.
Be like a confident surfer.
They say it's hard to recapture a second world title after you've just won one, but sometimes it's hard to even get through heats in the next contest after you've won. But every now and then you'll go on that roll. I can remember a roll I had where I had a first, a third, and a first. Admittedly, it was APSA back then. And you just get on this roll and you're on this high going, I can beat these guys. I can beat these guys. Now, the fact that he's had a result there last year, he should be going into this with confidence, still with the fear of this is the most gnarly wave on earth. I could die here, but that's just simple respect for the wave.
100%. It's I love watching the Chopu event. I feel like it's the one place in the world that I would love to have had an opportunity, not to necessarily compete there, but to at least surf it because, as you know, when our favorite wave is on, although it's a sand bottom, it is a heavy, shallow sand bottom left-hander. And I do find sometimes I have a little bit of a screw loose when the surf gets a little bit big, and I like to explore scarier situations.
Yeah. See, as I've got older, when I was young, it didn't really seem to worry me much. Now I watch you on some heavy slabs and I go, no, please don't. And because the last time we surfed Mooloolaba when it was pushing 6 to 8 feet, there were waves out there that I just wasn't going to paddle into.
Yeah, I love it. I miss it. I mean, I haven't had a surf in solid waves in a long time, and I got skunked in the Ments. So,
see, when you're about to turn 60, guys, you want to surf some more, self-preservation kicks in.
But see, I'm like in my early 30s, and I'm sitting here still thinking I'm surfing like I'm 21, and then
well, the fact is though, your mid-30s is the prime of your life anyway, physically.
Oh, geez, don't tell me that. I'm 100 kilos now, Robert.
Yeah, but it is because your mind catches up with your body. In your 20s, the mind hasn't caught up with your body yet.
Yeah, true. That is very true.
Yeah, I got to, and again, sorry, flashback to me. I didn't win any pro events till I was 28, going on 29. I'd made 2 or 3 quarterfinals in what we call CT events before, and I'd won Pro-Am events, but I hadn't won a QS. Not until I was 28, going on 29.
Yeah, unfortunately for myself, in my whole career, I don't think I stood on top of the podium. I think my number was 3rd. Every event that I was made in final was a 3rd. Never got man on man.
Listen, the other thing is though, you can still win an event and still think you're not as good as the guys you've beaten. So it all does come down to, wow, I was lucky that day. And sometimes you are lucky that day. But if you win a few events, you should have the confidence to go, hold on, I beat some world champions there. Not only have I beaten one, I've beaten a few. I am good enough. Anyway, we've drifted off.
We do this every now and again.
We do.
But so Yago's in the yellow jersey now,
mate. So Yago and Connor.
Let's discuss this.
Let's talk about Yago and Connor, the 2 biggest performers at J-Bay. And I saw some stuff on social media, sort of asking, was that wave that Yago caught, was it a 9.8 or whatever they gave him? And man, that was close to a 10 because he comboed up a couple of turns out the back, then hit the inside and did that full rote on the closeout section, which is the heaviest section at J-Bay.
Was that him at Impossibles? Would you have classed it?
That was still running. That was
still down the
That
point.
was down to Super Tubes. Yago was the man to beat. Connor was always going to be the underdog because Yago was going in knowing he's got the yellow jersey in the next event. And as all good Aussies, we sat back just going, "Go, Connor, go!"
Oh yeah, I was jumping up and down in the surf club when I was watching him in the event. I was quite embarrassed after I sent the message.
Yeah, well, that's all right. We all fumble the ball now and then.
I was hungover as hell the next day, but it was worth it. Who are your picks? Let's talk about Chopu again. Like, obviously, again, I always back Connor. I like the idea of a momentum shift for him coming off a win to continue that momentum forward. But outside of Connor, who do you see doing well? For me, I look at people like Jack Robbo.
Barron Mamiya.
Is his knee 100% better yet?
Oh, really good point. I have no idea if he's even in it. It's just the name that comes to my head straight away.
Oh, well, of course, because of the Hawaiian blood.
Well, it's because he knows how to just pull into a
Get
slab.
tubed.
And from free falling into it. But Jack Robbo, Miggy.
Yeah, Miggy's had good results there.
Miggy's won it.
He's won it. Who else? It'll be interesting to see how like Jolly Vaughan handles it.
It'll be interesting to see how all the young rookies handle it.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if Marco, being from French background, if he's had any time there.
I don't know, mate, but he's not doing any air rotes there.
Well, this is the thing. It's just a slab fest.
Slab fest.
You better be on your barrel game and know what line to pick when you take off on that wave. Otherwise, you're hitting the reef.
What do you think about it? Who's won it the most? Kelly.
Yep.
Okay, so this gets me with Kelly. He is the best surfer in the world solely because he has studied, whether it be Pipeline, Chopu, wherever he goes, he studied the reef and what angle swell hits the reef perfect from what point of the reef. And that's why he's had so many 10-point rides.
Yep.
This is where so many young surfers miss it. It's the understanding of whether it be the sandbar or the reef and the swell direction that's hitting, and at what point on that reef or that sandbar should you be taking off to get the best barrel.
Chuck us your phone for a sec. Obviously, my phone's filming one of these angles, so I'm going to pull up the heat draw. We're going to do a Robert Wildfire, who he thinks is going to win the heat. Now, the Tahiti Pro kicks off on the 7th of August. Trials are completed.
Yeah, but apparently there's going to be plenty of swell, but they're going to have a fair bit of onshore wind. They're going to have to pick the eyeballs out of it with the last couple of days of the window, according to the forecasting guys at Surfline. Sorry, so who knows really what's going to happen. But, I mean, nobody knows.
Well, I mean, I
That's
feel
all
like
I
I feel like weatherman and surf forecasting is the one job you can get wrong 50% of the time and still keep your job.
Well, our weather meteorologists, yeah, guaranteed, and they get paid well for it. They're hopeless.
All right, let's do it. Let's do Robbie's fire picks for round 1. We are going to chuck this in a multi as well after this.
Give me the names.
Italo, Miggy, or Seth?
Wow, that's one hell of a heat.
I mean, yeah. Italo's been known to do well there. Miggy, again, has won it. Seth Moniz, being Hawaiian, knows how to get barreled.
Oh, that's put me right on the spot. Right there. And then I love Miggy.
All right, we'll take...
Miggy's just my favourite Brazilian surfer.
All right, yeah, I just want you to... First name that comes to your head.
Miggy.
All right. Kanoa, Jake Marshall, or Kalui Vast?
Oh, Cali Vast.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Really?
All right. Geordie, Crosby, or Miyaman and Bray?
Geordie.
Ooh, okay. Yago, Jolly Vaughan, or... Oh, what's this wild card's name? I don't know this guy's name, so forgive me, team. Teiroa. Teiroa.
Oh, he's good.
You know who it is.
Yeah. He's good. Who are the others in it?
Joel Vaughan and Yago. See, I wouldn't mind taking, like me personally, I'm going to take the local wild card in that heat.
You take the local, I'll take Yago.
All right. Ethan, Cole, or Rio?
Ethan.
Griff, Connor, or Al Cleland Jr.?
Hart, Connor. But Al Cleland's insane.
I reckon, yeah. It'll be a lot of fun watching him surf chopes if there's swell.
Oh, he's an animal.
All right. Felipe, Leo, or Joao? I'm taking Leo.
Joao's an animal in big ways.
I mean, yeah.
I'll go Jow.
Really? That's very odd for Robert to take a Jow
I
pick.
don't like Jow surfing. I think he's too hectic. He tries too hard.
But when it comes to a slab?
In a big slab, he's an animal.
All right, and rounding out round one, Jack, Robbo, Baron is in it, and Marco.
Oh, my God.
There's two of the heaviest hitters versing each other in round one, Jack and Baron.
Yeah, but how is Baron's knee?
I'm still taking Jack.
I'm taking Jack too.
All right. So, guys, there it is. We'll put it up in the middle here of who our 8 surfers are that we're going to be picking. And if there's a difference between Robbie and I'll just hopefully space it out here. I'm excited. I love watching a Chopu event when there's waves. I find Chopu is an absolutely horrible event to watch if the forecast is terrible.
Any event's horrible to watch when the forecast is terrible.
Yeah, good point. Very valid.
Go watch Bolito.
Yeah, no, I tried. I tried. I couldn't pull myself to watch it.
Oh my gosh! Can't we do better than that for a Challenger series?
And then after Reggie got knocked out, I was like, no, I can't even bother watching this.
So let's go on to another point. So the Lexus US Open that's on? Is it still called the Lexus?
Well, yeah, it is, and Lexus is sponsoring Tahiti as well.
So the Lexus US Open is on, and I've been to the OP Pro at Huntington about 5 times. Never won a heat there. Okay, it's such a horrible wave. But if you get waves, if it's consistent enough, anybody from here can surf it.
Mm.
But it can be that inconsistent. I was speaking to Sophie McCulloch's dad this morning, and her and Liam O'Brien, boyfriend, girlfriend, they're over there at the moment. And Sophie rang up last night and gone, Dad, you know what? I know I can surf these waves. I can handle the hop. I can get through to the shore break. I can hit that. But when Huntington's inconsistent, there can be possibly only 5 waves in the heat.
Wow.
So being confident, knowing that you can surf the waves that come through, but then unconfident the fact there's going to be any waves in the heat. That's got to do your head in.
Well, this is where your mental preparation's key, having that the Iceman mentality of like when you see a wave, like you're watching the 3-4 heats beforehand to see the consistency, seeing if there's a pattern like heat on, heat off with waves. And so that way when it comes to your heat, you're like, okay, I've worked out it's 3.5, 4 minutes between each set. The set's coming a set of 2 and that's it. The left's better. I'm going to have to capitalize in my heat because there may only be 5 waves. But even then, it's the ocean.
Hey, if there's only 5 waves, that means you catching the first possible scoring wave and capitalizing on it, because when it comes around to the 5th wave, you're back in priority again.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
So you've really got to get your head around that and go, I have to be on that first good wave and I have to capitalize on it. And then I need to be in that priority line. There might be 7 good ones, but you have to capitalize guaranteed. If you get 2, you have to capitalize on both of them.
Yeah. I've been paying attention to the US Open or whatever the heck they call it.
Yeah, so who is in it? I don't even know really who's in it.
Well, you'd have Liam from the Aussie contingent. You'd have Liam O'Brien.
It's going to be hard for Liam.
You'd have Arkal. It's going to be hard for Arkal. He's 6'3".
Julian?
Jules.
Did Julian even show up in South Africa?
Not that I'm aware of.
Mate, that contest, I'm sorry, guys. I watch every pro contest. I watch every heat, but that was so hard to watch.
It was disgusting. It was like a washing machine.
It was terrible.
Imagine being the poor bastards that have spent money to go over there to surf in that.
So let's touch on one thing. This is where I believe WSL was still getting it wrong. At least when I was doing the supposed tour with the trials events into the main events, it was structured where you go from continent to continent and round. These poor guys on the Challenger series are jumping from continent to continent and back and forwards across the world, where it's got to be costing them $70,000 to be able to do these events. And let me tell you, they ain't winning that.
And also, their sponsors ain't paying them that.
No, their sponsors ain't. So nearly all the crew we know, like Jacko Baker, they have to go and get a job when they're home. And they've got to hope that their bosses understand that this is their dream that they're going to chase. And can I have a job when I get home?
Yeah. It is. The underbelly of professional surfing is quite wild. And yeah, I've been speaking to a lot of people that have been sharing stories, and I won't go into too much. And also, we've chatted with a few people that we're going to be editing
Yes.
their episodes that talk about the other side of things too. But let's just wrap this up quickly. We only want to do a quick episode today. We've figured out who the round 1 picks are for Tahiti. Connor, again, congratulations, man, on your breakout win.
Mate is so happy, mate. Just cheering all the way like every Aussie for the Aussie underdog. You've got Tahiti, mate. I don't care whether it's a win, but you're going to get a result.
Yeah, mate, 100%. You'll be in my fantasy team, no doubt. But let's wrap this up, guys. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. We do want to hear from you guys. Actually, that just reminds me. We have been asked to share a story, and I've been asked for your advice. It's come from an anonymous person, and he's a local here at Alex. When I say he's a local here, I've known him for a few years. But he says, hey, guys, I'm going to try paraphrase because my phone's filming right now. Hey, guys, I keep going out at the bluff and getting dropped in on by a 62-year-old longboarder.
So does everybody.
I can't seem to catch any waves. What would you recommend me doing that might get him to start liking me?
Mate, he's old and grumpy. He's not going to start liking you.
Oh.
Maybe you actually hoot him in and say, hey, mate, that was a good wave, because everybody's got an ego and they're grumpy because their ego's hurt because their surfing's not that good anymore.
I'll give you a word of advice. Just don't surf the bluff.
Yes, don't surf the bluff. And then the other word of advice is, all you old guys that think you're ripping, the bluff is for women and kids unless it's above 4 feet.
Oh, man. And actually, I have to do this because I got pestered by Ryan McPherson. I want to give a massive shout out to the Alex Left crew.
Hey, you're not supposed to say that name.
It's the one. Ryan said it's the most underrated wave in the world. We'd had a few beers at the time. I promised him that we would eventually do an Alex Left special.
And Ryan never saw it in the 80s.
No, we've only ever dealt with it in the 90s and 2000s.
Oh, the 80s were incredible.
So big shout out to the Alex Left's crew. I'm talking about the McPherson brothers, the Reginaldo brothers, the McCullochs. Who else I want to shout out in that group? Dan Potter, Ollie Young, Jake Gould, all you crew.
Yeah. And thanks, young fellas. You give me my waves.
Yeah, they do. They still love watching you surf. Oh yeah, and of course our brother Joel. He's an Alex Left boy.
Yep.
Better mention Big Ash just in case he listens to this. The only longboarder that we respect out there.
You know what? It's our wave, and I appreciate the respect, boys.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun out there. But guys, again, Bloodlines Bottom Turns on Instagram. If you do have any questions, let us know. We love hearing feedback.
Yeah, we do.
Let us know things in the comments to all the guys. Shane that's been commenting. A lot of the guys from New Zealand that are reaching out, sharing us stories with what's going on with them overseas with manufacturing costs. I want to just acknowledge you and say thank you for sharing with us these things, because we will bring these things up in other episodes.
Yeah, and don't worry, we know you want to get over here, but our economy's going your way as well.
Yeah, the world is in for some interesting times, but as long as the waves are good, the smiles will be on our faces.
Exactly.
So, guys, next episode we will be sitting down with a New Zealander.
A Kiwi, yeah.
A Kiwi, Ian Byrne. I will be editing that episode in the coming weeks, so stay tuned and watch out for that. We sit down with Ian Byrne, who is a pioneer of shaping on the Gold Coast, hardcore burly local.
Little brother to Alburn.
Little brother to Alburn. We don't go too much into detail about AB because we wanted to specifically talk to Ern about him and his journey as a shaper, and we really look forward to sharing that with you guys. We've also recorded an episode with Dave Davidson, so that'll be coming out in the future too. And then I got to sit down with his son Brandon, who is the under-14s Queensland champion.
And a star of the future.
And so I look forward to sharing all that content with you guys. But again, like, subscribe, share, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you guys next time.
Cheers, guys.